Hi class, it is Dr. O'Rourke. Thought I'd help you with your capstone overview and instructions for this class, KIN 454. So as you could tell in week 1, I had posted a overview and asking you to read, and this is really an important document, so please read all of it. It'll give you a brief understanding of what you plan on doing for the next 8 weeks, and also give you an outline of what to look towards. So here is the paper, and you can see how each week we have something to help prepare you for your final product. So to start out with is I wanted to just use this time right now to talk about your citations. And so if you go all the way down at the end of the paper, because I'm sure you read everything already, you'll see where it says resources, there is capstone help. So databases, what I wanted to talk to you about was what a database is and then how to find journal articles for your example. So when you're writing your paper, there was 2 examples that you need to include. One needs to be a scholarly article, not a magazine, not a newspaper, but a scholarly article, meaning that it has been researched. And you can find those in the library. You can actually go into the library, or you can go online and search a database. So that's what we're going to talk about, is what databases that CBU has online, the library, and then also that you could do this at the comfort of your own home, and then also find from the databases journal articles that will relate to your topic. So the second example that you have to include is something that you can use: magazines, something you read in the news, a newspaper article, and those are fine. But what I'm going to talk to you about right now is how to find a scholarly article as an example for your topic and population. So I gave you a link here, and I'll ignore that. Gave you a link here, and this is going to be what you're going to go to. I already have it open, so I'm going to go straight to that. And here it is. So that link's going to take you to the library. And I wanted to show you right here where it says databases. You're going to have to use your CBU Blackboard login data information to get in. But you could do a one search here and put your topic in and find some things. But here are some databases. Another option too that you can go to is looking at kinesiology specific ones as well. So we'll first do this. We'll go straight to databases, and there's all sorts of different ones here that you can find. Now, for example, I think one of this sports discus was an example on your paper, which I'll go back to this to make your references. Here are some ideas of databases that you can find journal articles in. So this was one, and I thought we would try that. So, oops. Here we go. So let's go to sports. And then it's going to ask me to log in. And here what it's going to do is it's going to give you, you can search something general, or you can go and be very specific. And with the ands, the and means that it'd be like your population. For example, if you put in here, what did I use before? Let's do aggression in sports. And then here, if I wanted to do high school, if that was my population, I would put high school. Or you could put professional sports. Okay, so let's just go with aggression in sports and see what comes up. Let's see, player and athlete attitudes to drugs in Austrian sports, study on the relationship between sports and aggression, optimizing aggression in combative sports. So you could see, and it continues to go on and on and on. And since we, depending on what country you are located, I'd prefer you to go to something that is specific to your population and general area. So if you live in Australia, use this one. If you are in the United States, then use one that is more generalized towards the United States culture. So, for example, one other thing I'd like for you to highlight is you want to find things that have PDF full text. If you notice right here, player and athlete attitudes to drug in Australian sports does not have a full PDF, and I'm going to tell you the advantage of having one. This will only provide you an abstract, and if you recall, an abstract is just simply a general briefing of what the article is going to be about. That's not enough. What you need to do is you need to go to the PDF full text. That's going to give you the full article with a lot more information that you can use to cite in your paper. Now, I'm not expecting you to read all of this, but it is rather interesting, especially if you selected a topic of interest and as well as your population. Look at that, even shows about children and youth, so if you selected that as well. So, and then spectator violence, great. This is a great article. So, anyhow, it even talks about hooliganism, violence, so there's all sorts of different things, and also if you wanted to find out more, if you found this article interesting, you wanted to find more articles similar to that, there's a reference section here in APA, which again, you need to cite everything in APA, that gives you ideas and suggestions for other articles you can search in your database. So hopefully this helps you and gives you an overview of how to use a database and find journal articles. Again, this is the journal article, so you would not in your paper cite the database you found it. You would cite, oh boy, I've picked a nice name. Let's say Skewery and Cade. And that would be in 2009, and then you'd cite the volume and the number. And of course, you'd add the title and European Sports Management Quarterly. And if you notice right here, it's sports management. It's not necessarily a sports psychology article or journal article, or journal. So don't be afraid to go and look at other places. I just gave you some citations of some specific sports psychology journals, but as you could tell, you can go to any type of journal article and find some type of sports psychology and sociology based topics. So hopefully that's been helpful to you, and if you have any questions,